Hey guys, welcome back to Sew-Cro-Knits. This is episode 6. Stay tuned and I'll catch you up. Okay, so it's been a while. Welcome back if you're visiting my channel or if you're just stopping by. It's been a while since I've recorded, and yeah, it's just been a crazy last year and a half, and now, you know, we're in crazy times as well, but we're not going to talk about that today. I just wanted to kind of come back and kind of catch up. So if I'm a little rusty, I apologize in advance. I haven't done this in a little while, so there's a lot of stuff that I need to brush up on and just reacclimate to. So anyway, welcome back. Where should I start? So yeah, it's been a while. I think the last time I recorded might have been either late 2018, early 2019, one of the two. And it was one of those years where I kind of just wasn't, not that I wasn't feeling it, I still was feeling crafty, you know, wanting to knit and stuff like that, but I didn't do much of it. For the year I would pick up some stuff here and there, and yeah, I really just, it was one of those years where I just don't have an excuse of why I didn't record, or I didn't really even craft much. So either way, the last few months have been, actually I want to say maybe December on, from December 2018 on, I kind of just started, I guess I don't want to say falling in love, because I never fell out of love of knitting and stuff like that, but I think my mojo kicked back in, and I was kind of excited to pick it back up and do stuff. So it's been a few months, and since that has happened, I've actually, you know, done a couple things here and there, and I've actually gone through my stash of projects that I had started and never finished, and I was like, whoa, I got a lot of stuff that I just haven't even touched. So I need to, you know, I started going through my stash thinking, okay, I need to finish some of this stuff. I need to just get it out of the way. And so that's a lot of what I've been doing. But in doing so, I kind of picked up a couple of new things. So that's why I kind of wanted to talk about that today. One of the things that I think that kind of got me back into wanting to pick up my projects again was I was kind of going through YouTube, and I came across a I don't know if it was a tutorial video, but it was kind of I don't know if they were just kind of plugging the shawl or what it was, but it was a very really nice instructional video on how to do this particular shawl. And the shawl that I'm talking about is called the Coplin shawl by Expression Fiber Arts. And it actually, I'll show you the front page. Let me see if maybe I can come up close. Expression Fiber Arts. It's called a Coplin, and it looks like this. It's a really nice shawl, and the designer to this shawl is here, I'll put it up here too because it's much easier. Emily Walton is the designer, and the video was actually being done by Chandy Aggie. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Chandy Aggie. So here goes. That's the designer. Oh, it's getting a little blown out because of the light. Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Here it goes. And then Chandy Aggie did the actual video, and it was a really well. The pattern itself, it's not a hard pattern at all. Now, I consider myself a beginner, somewhat beginner, almost diving into more moderate knitting. But it was very, she explained it very easily. She gave the tutorial, and I decided, let me download the pattern. I bought the pattern, I downloaded it, and I started with the instructions, because one of my issues is, and I know I've mentioned this before, is that sometimes I have a hard time with patterns, like reading them, and not because I don't quite understand it. I think sometimes the language or the knit terms, certain knit stitches, I still either haven't learned correctly all the way, or I've just been kind of stuck on the whole knit and purl and maybe like knit front and back and this, and you know, just kind of simple things. So sometimes when I look at patterns and they have all these other terms, I get really overwhelmed, and so I kind of just put it away. But because this particular pattern had a tutorial for the specific pattern, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and buy the pattern. I'm gonna try the pattern, and then as I'm going, if I don't understand something, I'll put the video on to see what it is that she means by this. And you know, it was very helpful. And like I said, the video was done very well. So I was very excited, and I actually ended up making a Copland shawl, and I loved it so much that I actually completed 4 of them all together, one right after the other, because it was such an enjoyable knit, and I think I was so excited that I had actually learned a pattern that that I did it a couple times, and I'll show you guys those. So the first one I knit was out of a yarn that I had been coveting for a while but could not find, because when I actually saw this yarn, I was at Stitches, and I went around thinking I would go back to the booth and pick it up, you know, and try to buy it, and I left the place and forgot to go back to the booth, so I never got it, and so I kicked myself for a while. And so I went to the website, the maker's website, and for a long time I could not find the color that I was looking for. And so I want to say I kind of like was on that website for, I want to say, almost a good year before I even saw the colorway. And I don't know if it was, you know, one of those, she did one up, a batch of that color, or maybe she just found a batch of that color somewhere and put it up there. But there were 2 skeins, and I was like, yes, this is it. And all her colorways are actually very, very nice. I really like the names, I like the colors, but I actually lucked out, and I actually ended up buying 2. And so I had gotten this yarn prior to seeing this this pattern, and so I knew right away when I saw the pattern and the video, I said, I know exactly what yarn I want to use with that. So it's Black Cat Fibers, and the colorway is, this is Halloween. Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm shaking. This is Halloween in her Essential DK. And again, it's Black Cat Fibers LLC. And the colorway is this. Now, I don't know if, I mean, the colorway looks pretty, yeah, pretty close to what it looks like. It's a little dark down here, but this is pretty much what the colorway looks like. And the shawl, I love the way it turned out. Looks really nice, and it's a triangular shawl, very nice. And then in the middle, it has this little kind of detail right here. I don't know if you can see that. And I loved the way it came out. It came out so nice. I was so excited. I actually wore it to Rhinebeck last year, and I was pretty excited. I'm not gonna put it in all the way, but this is what it looks like, and it has oranges and blues and kind of like a midnight blue that looks like a black. I mean, it might even have a black in there, but it was really, really nice. And so the pattern, when you read the pattern, it actually has, you can do the pattern, just the shawl, and then it has instructions if you want to add a border. So when you knit the shawl, you don't have to add the border to it, but which was my plan. My plan was to just knit the shawl, and then as I finished it up, I told myself, I think I want a border on this. And so I thought to myself, it would look really nice. At the time, I hadn't purchased more or extra yarn, and the yarn that I had left over I don't think would have been enough. I'm sorry, I'm trying to look because I thought I brought the ball down here, but I don't think it would have been enough to make the border that, because I had very little left after I finished. But then I remembered I had a really sweet coworker that had gifted me some yarn from an Italian company. I think it was from Italy. And I remember the color was like a dark blue. And I thought to myself, I think this is going to match really nice. And so sure enough, I pulled it out. The yarn is, I don't think the yarn is a DK. But because of the way that the border is knit up, I don't think you can tell. You know, this, I think it's a much lighter weight. This is a DK. This is more like, I don't want to say fingering, but maybe like a sport, something along that line. And like I said, because it's the way it's knit up, you can't really tell the difference. And I thought the contrast was really nice. So I really like the way that turned out. I'm very happy with how it turned out. And it's so nice and soft. It's so squishy. And I liked it. And I was so excited I finished it very quick. Well, I shouldn't say very quickly. I think I took like a week or two off during the fall to do fall stuff. And right before I went to Rhinebeck, I said, I'm going to finish this because this is what I wanted to wear. And I did, and I finished it. And I was so happy with it that I decided to actually cast on a second one. Now, the second one I cast on, I think I announced it on my Instagram, which I'll plug in my Instagram name here as well. There, I took a picture of the yarn that I was going to be using because while I was knitting this one, I had actually purchased, prior to purchasing this a while back, I had purchased some yarn from Primrose Yarn, and I had it stashed because it was so nice. I wanted to make sure that I used it for something really nice that I was going to be happy with. So I automatically knew once I started knitting this up, I said, that's what I'm going to use the Primrose yarn for. And so I did. I will link my Instagram because I do not have that shawl with me. That shawl was gifted to a very good friend of mine out in Virginia. And the pictures, although, will be on my Instagram because I did take pictures before I send it off. So the 3 colorways I used, I do want to mention though, because just in case anybody's interested. So this is Primrose Yarns, and the 3 colors, that one I did. Okay, so let me go back 1 second. This particular shawl, the Copland shawl, is, I guess, I mean, you can do it whichever way you want, but it's really a striped shawl. And it gives instructions for color A, color B, you know, when to start B color, when to start C color. And here's a picture I don't know if you're gonna be able to see the stripes. It's really beautiful. But if you go on the website, you can see it. But see how it's a striped yarn. They use really nice yarns. Excuse me. So it's kind of like a striped shawl, but because the Black Cat Fibers yarn was already doing its thing, and I actually wanted it all to be this color and then do a sequin. I mean, now that I think of it, I could have done the Black Cat Fibers and then alternated the stripes with this color. That would have been nice, but I didn't think of it while I was making it. So anyway, I decided, let me do the Primrose because I have 3 different colors, and I'll do the striping with those yarns. And so as I was knitting it, what I noticed was that I loved all 3 of the colors, but there was I think one particular color I really loved out of all the 3. And so sometimes when I was just very happy knitting that color, I would knit it till I was happy and I wanted to change. So, excuse me, it's allergy season around here and I'm just a little tickle in my throat. So whenever I was very happy knitting that particular color, I just knit it until I wanted to change the color. So I didn't necessarily follow the sequence of the striping in the pattern, but I did stripe it as I saw fit to change it my own way. So that's a really nice thing about this pattern, that you can stripe it or not, and you can stripe it whichever way you want or not, you know, and still keep the integrity of the pattern. So the 3 colors I used for that second shawl, which was Primrose, and it was in the color Supernova. The second was Coco Fuego. And the third color was her Mulberry colorway. And I will hopefully be able to insert pictures here of how that turned out. And if it doesn't come out really nice here, you can always go on my Instagram and check them out. And that one came out really nice. I really love that one. And the person I sent it to really loved it. And that one was so nice and soft. This one is very soft. But the other one was so, because I think this is a DK weight. The one that I knit was in her, I think it was, is this a DK weight? No, this is, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to figure out. This is more, it's a fingering weight. Yeah, these were definitely fingering. So they were a thinner yarn. So the shawl was just a little lighter. That's what I'm trying to say. The shawl was much lighter than this one was. This one is not a heavy weight, but it's more of a thicker. It's soft, but it's a thicker, where the other one was a much lighter, and which is nice because since my friend lives in Virginia, I mean, they get cold weather, but she could probably wear that now in the spring, in the fall, and be comfortable with it. Even if I could even see her, like if on a nice summer night, it's not that hot out, she could probably get away with wearing it over a pretty dress or something like that. So that was sent out, and I was very happy to hear that she loved the shawl. So that was the second one that I knit. So oh, and you know what? I wanted to show you the blue yarn that I used for this was in this. It's Bellamore, Berlini Bellamore. It's made in Italy. And I think it doesn't have a colorway, but the color number is 534. So it's like a dark navy blue. It's really nice. And it was lot 14. You can see it there on there. So I used the black cat fibers and this together for that first shawl. I used the Primrose for the second shawl. And then the third shawl that I made, I kind of went through my stash, and I had mentioned before that I had, when I first started knitting, I had a lot of acrylic yarns that I had purchased, you know, to learn how to knit and stuff like that. But there's a particular, there's certain acrylic yarns that I will purchase because I like the way they feel. They're not scratchy yarns, or let's say like the color catches my eye, so I buy it. But I did have a stash from prior, and I had a particular stash of, I think it's the Karen, and I don't know if I mentioned this in one of my other videos, but it's the Karen Simply Soft Party. And that particular yarn is kind of, it's pretty comfortable. It's not too scratchy. It's actually, once you knit it up, it's actually pretty soft. But it's their party line, which has a lot of sparkle, Selena, metallic. I don't know what you might want to call it, but I really like it. And so I had a stash of this one was their, yeah, black sparkle, and it's 99% acrylic and 1% metallic. I will put that up. I don't know if it's gonna not focus very well. Yeah, that's not focusing at all. Wow. I'm so sorry about that. But like I said, it's their black sparkle, 99% acrylic with that metallic, and it's the Karen, just in case anybody wants to buy it at the store, Karen Simply Soft Party line. I have several colors of these, and they're very, very nice colors. And so I decided I'm gonna make myself a full black shawl to wear to work. And if you can see, there's some sparkle in it, and I'm hoping that sparkle is coming through. Like I said, it's a little dark here, but the sparkle. That's exactly how it looks, sparkly. And it's nice because you can see in this black one when you wear it up against, I don't know if you can see it, but see that there's the middle, that design in the middle. It looks really pretty. But I decided to make it in all black. And I'm very happy with the way that it came out. Very excited. And so I made this one for myself for work because, and I made, you know, this one actually I made a little longer than my colorful one because where I work, I am cold 365 days a year. During the summer, the air conditioning is blowing, and so there's a vent right near where my desk is, and so it gets kind of cold as you're sitting there typing all day. So I wanted to make this where I can wear it as a scarf, or if I have something a little lighter on during the summer, I can actually wrap it around my shoulders and actually pin it here in the middle and see it comes down on my arm nice enough where it covers right here, which is probably usually where I have the most cold hit me and bothers me because my neck tenses up. So that's why I made this one a little longer, and I'm kind of very excited about that. And I loved the way it came out. Look at that sparkle. That's exactly how it looks, and I love it. So anyway, this was the third Copland shawl that I made. And so I remember when I wore this to work, I had a coworker compliment me on it, and she was like, "Wow, that's so nice. You know, I really would love to learn how to." She really wants to learn how to crochet. I like crocheting. I love knitting better, but I do like to crochet. So she asked me, she said, you know, one of these days, can you sit down with me and kind of teach me how to, even if it's just a basic crochet stitch or whatever. And I said, sure. But in the meantime, I was sitting at home thinking to myself, you know, I have some stash and maybe I can make her one and see how she likes it. And if she likes it, you know, then I can teach her how to, you know, either make it or, you know, see how she feels about it. So I had some Lion Brand mandala yarn. I know, I probably look like a crazy lady right now, but I told you I like this pattern a lot. So I decided that I would make 4 of these. And so I had some Lion Brand mandala, and I want to say, I don't have the tag with me, but it was the centaur colorway, and like centaur, like Greek mythology type. They had a line come out with a lot of those colors. There was one that was called like fairy forest or something like that. I forgot what it was, but anyway, this one was the one in the centaur colorway, and this one came out really nice. And not because I don't even know how to explain it, but it's one of those cakes that has the different colors. And so it's kind of like self-striping. So as you're knitting or crocheting, you know, once that color's done, the next color starts. So it kind of took the guesswork out of striping. And if you didn't want to stripe, because you just wanted to follow the pattern but not stripe, this did it for you. And so this is how that one turned out. Isn't that nice? And I love the colors in this particular in that particular skein, which was a center colorway. And so it came out so nice. I love the way that it's striped up. Is that correct grammar? I'm not sure, but this looks, see how it came out, the different colors. And like I said, forgive me, it is a little dark down here, but hopefully I'll get some lighting to better fix that. But the color's still coming through. This is kind of pretty true to how the stripes are. So I made her one. I have not gifted it to her yet because As we all know, we're all social distancing, and the days that I go to work, she's teleworking, and the days that she's at work, I'm teleworking. So I haven't seen her yet to give it to her, but hopefully soon I will be able to give her this. And this came out nice. So this was my 4th Copland shawl. And so after that, I told myself, all right, you need to give yourself a break. You need to do something different. So I did. I actually had started some socks a while back, and I told myself, you need to finish up those socks. Now, mind you, I have not finished up those socks yet. And I actually started a second pair, which I should have finished by now. But like I said, I was in a, I don't know, a knitting funk. I just didn't do it. But I decided I need to pick it back up, so I did. These particular socks are made out of Blue Ridge yarn, and they're Footlights base, I think. And the color is Mountain Mist. I don't know why. My phone is not that it should focus, but that's the best I can do for now. Mountain Mist. Yeah, anyway. It's their Mountain Mist colorway, Footlights base, Blue Ridge yarns. And this is what it looks like. This is a mustard, kind of like a denim-y blue, a copper color, and this is like a gray. And I put in I use the mustard to kind of put in a lifeline there so that when I go back and knit my heel, this is where I'm gonna put the heel in. So if you can see, there's that mustard yarn there. That's where I'm gonna put the heel in. So it's kind of, I'm making afterthought heel socks, but I really like the way this is coming out, and it looks so nice, especially in the daylight. It looks really, really nice. The only thing is, this was one of those sock kits that came together. And as I'm knitting this, I'm thinking to myself, man, am I gonna have enough yarn? I don't know. I'm getting a little scared, because this is how far I've gotten on this first sock. And this is what, I want to pull this together. Hold on, because I have to show you guys. This is what it's looking like. I'm just a little scared. I don't know, I might be able to just get it done and not, and just barely make it, but this is what I have left. Now, mind you, this is fingering weight yarn, so I might just have enough. And this is the 4th color, which is the copper. This one's attached to the sock still, so, but this is what I have, and I don't know if that's gonna be enough to finish this sock and make another sock. I'm kind of scared. I think maybe if I would have made this a little shorter and started the heel and then finished it off, it might have been fine. But even still, I don't like my socks that short. I like them to cover a little bit. But I think it's from here to here is where the top of the sock is. I don't know. I went on their website because I thought to myself, maybe if they still have the colorway, I can order another set. And I did not see that colorway. And rightfully so, because I picked these up at Rhinebeck, I want to say 3 years ago. So they have new colorways and stuff like that. But my thought was I might email them and see if they do custom orders, where maybe I can ask them, do you guys have any of this in your stash? Or maybe can you, remake this colorway just so I can buy some. I don't know how that's going to turn out. If they can't or they won't, I'm going to try my best to finish off the socks and see where I get to. The other thing I thought about was, if I can't get this colorway, again, what I'm thinking is, my idea was this mustard is going to be the cuffs, the heel, and the toes. But if I can't get more yarn, this colorway, another, you know, set of this, I might just do the cuffs and the toes and the heel. I can use another color from my stash. So it'll be a third color in here, or yeah, a fifth color actually for the heel. And then I'll just use this for this in the foot. So I don't know how that's going to turn out, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try and see how that turns out. So the second pair of socks that I knit, I started a while back, and maybe I can grab a, I don't know if the sock, I'm sorry, let me just grab, oh, my butt just popped. I should have gotten this ready before, but let me see if I can do this to see how it looks. Hopefully it'll look, if you hear people walking upstairs, I'm in the basement, so you're gonna hear my family walking around, probably. So let me see how this is going to look, if it even looks good. I don't know. I think I made the sock too long, so this might just be a sock for somebody else in my family. And you're gonna laugh at me because my heel, guys, came out messed up. So messed up, but because I think I know exactly what I did. So the sock came out a little long. This is the sock. I messed up here, and I kind of messed up on the heel, but it's okay because I finished a sock, and I repeated everything that I did with this sock to the second sock, so that at least, even though it's not right, they'll look even. So this is the sock. It's a little longer. It should have been shorter, but that's the sock. I'll gift it to somebody else in my family that can fit the socks. So this is the sock. I did a 2x2 rib, and then I knit it down, and I did, you know, the regular heel. But when I came here, I'm sure you guys can tell what the mistake was. So I started decreasing very early, very quickly, and I forgot the name of it, but I totally missed that part. If I remember, I'll plug it in here, but I missed it, and so it joined kind of quick. They were shorter. I did try it on, and it didn't seem to make a difference. Like, it wasn't uncomfortable on my heel or anything like that. I'm gonna have to check with whoever's gonna wear them to see if it's comfortable. But now I know this is the mistake I made, so that next time I knit a sock or a heel on a sock, I can go ahead and fix that or do it the right way. But yeah, and this is on this yarn right here is Regia. Where did I put the Regia yarn? Oh, it's right in the bag. I'm so sorry. Yeah. This is the Regia Soft Glitter. And it is in, I don't think Regia has colorways, it has numbers. So I want to say it's 00031. It's almost like a pink lilac color, and it has glitter in it. So it is shiny. You can't really see it here because it is dark. I'm down in the basement. So, but you see that little bit of that sparkle? Yeah, it's kind of like a pinkish lilac color. And so when you go outside, it looks really cute. So that's the sock. And the second sock is actually in this wooden DPN holder. And yeah, this is how far I've gotten. I did the heel, and so now I have to finish off the foot. So as soon as I finish those, hopefully they'll look good, or they'll fit the person that I'm thinking might be getting this sock. So that's what I did with those socks. And I think the next thing that I started doing was I picked up my crochet blanket. So when I first started my podcast, I had actually started a crochet blanket, and I hadn't picked up that crochet blanket in like a year. I had it in the crate, and I just kind of just forgot about it. I really didn't even pick it up. But I told myself, I gotta finish this crochet blanket. Why? I kind of like had the urge to want to finish it and pick it up again. So I did, and I haven't made much progress on it, but I did add 2 more colorways into it. So let me just show you a little bit of that so you guys, just in case some of you haven't seen it. And I don't know if I have any colors attached to this, but this is the start of my crochet blanket. Let me hold it this way. It's a very long blanket. I wanted to kind of make it to fit a bed, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it that it's very wide. I don't know how long I'm gonna make it. I might just make it long enough to go over a couch. But these are the colors, and I'm just kind of mixing colors. This is like a burgundy color down here. This is like a dark teal, beige, mustard, kind of like a orangey terracotta color maybe, and a brown. And the next color I'm going to use is kind of like a sand color. But let me see if I can show you how wide. So it starts here, continues here. I haven't woven any ends in. I don't know how this is gonna turn out, but I'm pretty excited that I picked it back up, and hopefully by the next podcast I'll have added more rows to be able to show you guys. So that's kind of how it's looking right now, but I am finding that I'm enjoying it very much. Sometimes when I just don't want to think about, you know, following a strict pattern or just having to pay attention too much, I'm able to go to this crochet, because crochet you can rip back easily and just, you know, fix a mistake if you needed to, you know, versus knitting. Sometimes, you know, you can fix your mistakes, but it's kind of harder because you gotta pick up all the stitches, you know. So that's the crochet project. And then the other thing that I had for crochet was, I think it was back in 2016, I actually saw this. It's kind of like a shrug shawl type of thing, and I actually saw it. Okay, by the way, so sorry, that blanket is being crocheted up with, again, back to my stash. When I first started crocheting and knitting, I bought a lot of Lion brand, and so that crochet project is being crocheted up with Lion brand yarn. I think it's the Lion brand Hometown USA, I think it's called. So that is being crocheted up with the Lion brand Hometown. And when I was when I had started that project, I remember being on the Lion brand site, and they had, you know, you to go through the patterns and stuff that you would like to buy, and they had a I had seen this really pretty shrug kind of, and it was crocheted, and it was using the Hometown USA, and I like the Hometown USA. It's a little softer than their Wool Ease. Now I know that Wool Ease is a little, I don't want to say crunchier, because it still is soft, but the Hometown is actually a little softer than that. And so I like that yarn. So I remember looking up projects with that yarn, and I saw that they had this shrug, and I was like, I want to get this. And initially when I got it, my plan was to crochet it up right away, and I never did. And I think what happened was, I wanted to finish the blanket. I started getting interested in other things. I had put that away in a drawer, and I totally forgot about it. Completely forgot about it. And so the other day I was cleaning out some of my like yarn and fabric stash, you know, little areas, and I found the bag with the pattern, with the yarn still intact. And I looked at the date, and this was back in 2016 that I had purchased this, and I never used it. So it was kind of like an exciting little present to myself that I forgot that I had. So I'll show you, it comes with the yarn. I'll show you the colors of the yarn, but the actual project, and it's a free pattern, by the way. I'm sorry, I have fiber all over. But it's a free pattern, Lion brand, and it's called the Heartland. Oh, sorry. The yarn is the Heartland yarn, I think. Heartland yarn. Yes, Lion Brand Heartland yarn. But this is a sunset shrug. This is the picture of it. It's a free pattern on their website. That's how it looks in the back. It's really pretty. I had another picture somewhere. Oh, here goes, yeah, the front of the... That's how it looks in the front. Isn't that pretty? And once again, that's how it looks on the back. And I even loved it with the color dress that she had on. So I purchased the pattern. No, I purchased the kit. It was a kit that came along because the pattern is free. So like if you wanted to download just the pattern, you can. And I bought the kit because it had all the yarns that you need for this project came along with that. And I wanted something easy that I have to think about. It had the pattern. So some of the colors that it that this shawl is knit up in is Yellowstone. Now I'm not sure that these colors are still available. Some of them might be, but I know that they mix up, you know, from time to time they change the colorways. And again, I got these in 2016. They might still have the colorway, they might not, I'm not sure. But this is Yellowstone. It's a pretty like mustardy color, yellow. It's really pretty. Yellowstone. This is a brown color in Heartland, and this one is Sequoia. It's like a brown, but it has kind of like a tweedy like glare to it. The other one is their Isle Royale, and it's kind of like a purpley color, like a purpley pink. I would say like a wine, but it's not even wine. It's like a purpley, and then it has like a purpley and wine color. There it goes. Pretty nice. And then I think there's two more colors. This one is Yosemite, and it's like an orangey color, dark orange. And then the last color is, this is a really nice color. This is Joshua Tree, and it's this nice green colorway. So yeah, I don't know if I can hold them all up together so you can see how nice these look. Those are the colors. Isn't that nice? So I can't wait to actually knit up that. I was just making sure there's no more yarns in there. But I can't actually wait. Sorry for the crunching of the bag, but I just want to put them in here before I forget and put them with a different stash. So I'm really excited about crocheting that up next. And I think that is all that I have knit up and crocheted up so far since I picked up my, you know, craftiness vibe again. There are a few things that I do, some acquisitions that I have gotten in the last few months. And the first one being because, now, okay, I shouldn't say this because I heard of this shawl by, I was watching, I think it was the Gentle Knitter, Nicole from the Gentle Knitter. I was watching her podcast, and she mentioned that she was knitting up a shawl that was, the pattern was by Tyne Swedish, I think it's her name, and it was a Trelawney shawl. And I told myself, what is this? So I was, you know, I finished watching what she was talking about, and she actually showed her shawl, and it was a shawl inspired by Professor Trelawney from the Harry Potter series. And, you know, I quickly went on Ravelry. She gave, you know, the person's name. I went on Ravelry. I kind of looked at all the people that had done it. It was so nice. All the patterns. I mean, the pattern looks very nice. All the shawls that have been knit are really cute. And hers was like her vibe. Like she had like soft colors and they looked really pretty. And so I was inspired and I said, I think I would love to purchase this pattern. Now I haven't purchased the pattern yet, but that's because I've been lazy and I haven't gone on Ravelry for a while. But my intention is to purchase this pattern. And when I saw that pattern, I heard the name, I thought to myself, what do you think of when you think of Professor Trelawney? And I told myself, oh my goodness. I think of an explosion of color. I I don't know, like it's all I feel like she's all over the, like, I don't know, I guess when you look at her, the way she looks is the color I think of. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody. I'm so sorry if I'm confusing you. But I had actually purchased yarn several years back, and I had it in my stash. Now, I usually buy yarn because I look at it, it attracts me, and I put it away, and when inspiration strikes, that's when I use it. I rarely buy yarn with a pattern in mind, if that makes any sense. And I think this probably would kind of be the first time that that would happen, but it's only half, meaning I already had the yarn, and when I heard about it, I immediately thought to myself, I have yarn for that. I know that's what I'm going to do, but I don't think I have enough of it. So my dilemma was I had purchased yarn a while back, and I'll show you the yarn because this is the yarn. It's super colorful. It's great. And I think I had mentioned this yarn before. It's from the Great Adirondack Yarn Company, which is also now, I'm not sure if, I don't think they're separate companies. I don't know if they've changed the name or they're in transition, but when you plug in Great Adirondack Yarn Company, you might get this name, Sweet Horse Design Co. I think it's kind of the same. They're at Rhinebeck every year, and it's probably one of the first booths that I visit because I love their booth. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. This card and this yarn say it all, right? But anyway, I had this yarn, and I told myself, I think this is gonna be the Trelawney shawl. But because I don't have enough, I have two of these. I actually have this partly wound up, and then I have the second one. But I thought to myself, I don't have enough. I think I would need a third skein or maybe a fourth skein to make the Trelawney shawl. And so I went back on her website, or on their website, I should say, and looking for a color that would be compatible. Because I think what I want to do is I want to use a colorway that's kind of like, the word is not even, like, my brain is fried right now, but I want to use a contrasting color. So maybe like a solid color so that I can stripe it this and then a solid color and then this, a solid color. Or I didn't know if I wanted to get other yarns that had a whole bunch of colors but totally different, maybe like lighter colors so that they can contrast, you know, you can see the offset color. I don't even know if I'm explaining myself right. Like I said, when I think of Professor Trelawney, I think of, she's all over the place. So, and possibly I am too. So maybe that's why I haven't cast on or purchased the pattern yet. But in going on the website, thinking to myself, I want to get some yarn to go with this to possibly knit up the Trelawney shawl. I was in there and I saw possible yarns that would go with this, but in doing so, I ended up purchasing more. And it looks the same, but it's not the same, kinda. I'll show you the differences. Sorry for the crackling. And there's something else I want to show you guys. Okay. So this is what I purchased. I don't know if the other one will show. This is a really nice colorway. And this is called Cinnamon. And it has bright blues compared to this one. You see, I mean, they're kind of the same, but this one's a little darker, where this has like, they're muted, but they're kind of brighter colors. And this one has darker colors, so see the difference? And this one's also, I think this is their DK weight. And I want to say this is more like a sport weight, which is really nice. So I didn't actually purchase yarn to start the Trelawney shawl, but I did pick up 2 of these, which will sit in my stash until something comes up and I decide that's what I'm going to use that yarn for. And so I purchased from them. If you haven't gone to their website, visit their website. It's really, really colorful and really nice. And I absolutely love their colors. Like I said, the first year I went to Rhinebeck, I did what everybody else does. You go to the big area there right off the bathroom. You come in, you go, and they have all those yarns there. And I walked around and I did my thing. The second, third, and I think 4th year, is it 4 years that I've been there? I'm not sure. But anytime after that I've gone, I hit up her booth first because I love it so much. I want to go and see what she has, and then I'll go and see the rest of the fairgrounds. So I purchased 2 of these, and then while I was there, I also saw this, which I had seen when I went last fall to Rhinebeck, but I didn't pick it up because I was a little frivolous when I went and purchased yarn, which I have upstairs. I should have brought down, and I purchased a awesome sweater that she made. And I want to say, I'm gonna have to show you that sweater the next time I record because it's an amazing sweater. I love it. And I wore it this fall, and I was just the happiest person with that sweater on. You know how sometimes you purchase something and it's like one of those things that makes you happy all the time when you look at it or when you wear it? That's exactly how I feel about that sweater. It was so nice, or it is nice. And so maybe I'll show you that next time. But she had these buttons on it, like all over it. And I think they're handmade buttons that they make at this shop. And when I went on the website, they actually have pins that you can pin on, and all different colors. I went ahead and purchased this little heart. Adorable little heart, little pin. And I actually, this is what it would look like. Really cute. I'm not going to go ahead and put it on but it's super cute. And I also saw that she had, and I saw it after I purchased this one, she has pins like this but in shapes of a cat. And I'm like, yes, I'm going to get 1 or 2 of those because I like kitties and I love hearts. But this is like the cutest thing. So I purchased 2 of these, and I purchased this, and I didn't purchase yarn for my Trelawney shawl, which is on my list to get. But I didn't buy it. I purchased this, and then a few weeks later, I made another buy. I told myself I'm not going to buy anything else because I'm really trying to go through my stash, and I'm trying to be, I was actually really good last year with purchasing yarn. I had put myself on a yarn fast, like yarn purchasing fast, and I was really good all year, knowing that I would go to Rhinebeck in the fall, and that would be my time to purchase several things that I would like. And so I did, and even at Rhinebeck, I was pretty good. I actually made purchases that I knew would be purchases that I wanted to make, that I was actually going to use, not because I saw it and I like filled my eyes with yarn, Yeah, I was good. I was pretty good. So I went ahead and purchased this because when I went to Rhinebeck, I purchased a few things. And so even after that, I was pretty good. I didn't overbuy. And so I bought this, and a few weeks after that, I was actually watching a Homespun House podcast, and I heard that Molly and her family were moving back to Germany. Now, if you don't know, she used to live in Germany. They moved here to the States, and now they were moving back to Germany. And so years ago, when I first started watching her podcast, I would tell myself I really would love to purchase some yarn. because I liked a lot of the colorways that she had, and I never did. And then I heard that they were moving to the States, and I got so excited because I'm like, yes, okay, I'm definitely gonna buy some yarn now. Not that I couldn't bought it before, but for some reason I got really excited. I was like, they're gonna be here in the States. Yes, I'll buy some yarn. And so I would frequent her shop from time to time. Sometimes I would catch the updates too late, and so the yarn was already gone or whatever. But there was several yarns or colorways of hers that I really liked and I really wanted to purchase. And I just, for some reason or another, I just didn't, because I was guessing, okay, well, you know, I can go back into the website and shop whenever I want. Well, I caught a few episodes where she mentioned that they were moving back to Germany. So I was like, what? This happened. This is what you get for not shopping earlier. But luckily I was able to go into the shop before they closed, because she's going to close for the summer, you know, while they get situated over there. And I went in there, and some of the colorways that I wanted, that I liked, they were already sold out. And so she had a few kits that were really pretty. There was two in particular that I really liked, and I couldn't decide on the colors because they were both so nice. But I ended up making a purchase right before, I think it was right like the week before they closed down the shop, and I just took the plunge and I bought it. And so finally I got some homespun house yarn, and I actually purchased a kit. And I think there's a shawl that she might have done this kit for that is on her website. I didn't purchase the shawl pattern, I guess, but the kit I did. I thought it was a really nice color, and I want to say I have it written down here. It's a succulent party kit. And I know she has a shawl that goes to it, but I just purchased the kit because I thought it was so nice. And there was a pink one. It was a different name, succulent something. This was succulent party. There was another one. I don't remember which the name of it was, but look at the colors on these. And these came all together in a kit. I don't know what I'm going to do with these yet. I'm going to sit them in my stash, and when the inspiration hits or when a project comes up, I will go ahead and make something. Now it's called the Succulent Party, but the colorways, I'll show them to you. This one is called Toffee. This one is Peppermint. This one is Whisper. And this one is her Toasty colorway. And these are each 50-gram skeins. That looks really nice, doesn't it? I'm super excited. I don't know if I'm gonna make a shawl. At first I thought, you know, worst case scenario, I'll make socks with them, which you can, but I'm not sure. I'm not so sure that I want to make socks. I might want to make a shawl or a cowl or a scarf or something with this, but I will wait. So I'm excited I bought that. So I have some yarn that I stashed up, and I think for now that is all I have. And I'm hoping that by the next time I podcast, I will have my socks all finished, and I will possibly have more work done on my crochet blanket, and I will possibly have more projects started. Yeah, I'm in a new spot right now. I don't know how that's gonna work out. I'm hoping it's a much quieter spot. I had actually recorded a video, I want to say a few weeks back, and I was getting ready to post it. And when I was editing, I realized, and I didn't realize it when I was outside, it was a really beautiful day out, and I went outside and I recorded the whole thing. And then I didn't realize halfway through editing that a couple neighbors, like 2 houses down from us, We have neighbors that have dogs, but they're very like rambunctious dogs. And for like 15 minutes through the whole video, the dogs kept barking and barking, barking. And I didn't really realize it when I was recording. And it wasn't until I started editing that they were very, very loud. It was coming through very loud on the video. And I was like, this is going to be annoying. So, I mean, I know there's other things that can be annoying, but yeah. So I scratched the video and I decided to make another one. Like I said, I'm a little off. I've been out of practice for a while, so this video isn't going to be any more perfect than that was probably, but at least it's quieter, and so hopefully it'll be okay, and hopefully you'll come back to check out what else I have. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope everybody's staying safe, staying healthy, and yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in my next podcast. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye.